Have you been keeping an eye on Panasonic's Lumix line? Well, there's a new camera that's got everyone talking, the Panasonic Lumix S5R. Now, we don't have all the details yet, but what we're hearing is pretty exciting. Let's take a closer look at what might be coming our way and how it stacks up against other cameras we know and love. First, let's look at what we've heard about the S5R. Rumours are saying it might have a 47 megapixel BSIC MAS sensor. This is the same kind of sensor that was in the Panasonic S1R, which was known for taking very detailed photos. One of the big things people are talking about is that the S5R might have better autofocus. This is important because good autofocus helps you get clear, sharp photos, especially when you're trying to capture something that's moving. To understand why this matters, let's look at Panasonic's other cameras. In the past, Panasonic had different cameras for different uses. The S1 was a good all-around camera. The S1R was for people who wanted really detailed photos. The S1H was mainly for video, and the S5 was a mix, good for both photos and videos. Then Panasonic came out with the S5 II. This camera changed things because it had a new type of autofocus system called Phase Detect Autofocus. Before, only the more expensive cameras had this. This made people wonder about how Panasonic was organising their camera lineup. Let's talk a bit more about some of the technical aspects of the rumoured S5R. The 47 megapixel sensor, if that turns out to be true, would put this camera in the high resolution category. This means it could capture a lot of detail, which is great for certain types of photography. For example, if you like to take photos of landscapes, having more megapixels can be really useful. It allows you to capture fine details like individual leaves on trees or the texture of rocks. It's also helpful if you often crop your photos or make large prints. But having a lot of megapixels isn't always better. More megapixels mean larger file sizes, which can fill up memory cards and hard drives more quickly. It also means your computer needs to work harder when you're editing these large files. So it's a trade-off between having very detailed images and dealing with larger files. The rumoured improved autofocus is another important point. Good autofocus can make a big difference in your photography, especially in challenging situations. For instance, if you're taking photos of birds in flight or athletes during a game, having fast and accurate autofocus can help you get more sharp in-focus shots. One thing we don't know yet is what kind of in-body image stabilization the S5R might have. IBIS helps reduce camera shake, which can be really useful when you're shooting in low light or using longer lenses. The S5 II has a good IBIS system, so we might expect the S5R to have something similar or even better. When it comes to video features, while we don't have specific information about the S5R, we can make some guesses based on Panasonic's other cameras. Panasonic has been a leader in video features for still cameras, so it's likely the S5R will have strong video capabilities. This might include things like 10-bit 4x2x2 colour, various log profiles for colour grading, and maybe even raw video output. One question that comes up with high-resolution sensors is how well they perform in low light. Generally, cameras with more megapixels packed into the same size sensor can struggle more with noise at high ISO settings. It will be interesting to see how Panasonic addresses this if the S5R does indeed have a 47 megapixel sensor. It's also worth thinking about how the S5R might compare to cameras from other brands. For example, Sony has the A7R series, which is known for their high resolution. Canon has the R5, which balances high resolution with fast performance. And Nikon has the Z7 II, another high-resolution full-frame camera. The S5R would be competing with these cameras, so it will need to offer something special to stand out. For now, we'll have to wait and see what Panasonic officially announces about the S5R. But the rumours have certainly sparked a lot of interest. It's always exciting when a new camera is on the horizon, especially one that promises to push boundaries with a high-resolution sensor and potentially improved autofocus performance. If these rumoured features are accurate, the S5R could offer a compelling combination of detail, speed, and possibly even improved video capabilities, which will make it appealing to both photographers and hybrid shooters. However, it's important to consider how these potential features will actually perform in real-world scenarios. For example, while a 47 megapixel sensor sounds great on paper, the true test will be in how it handles different shooting environments, whether it's bright, controlled studio conditions or more demanding low-light settings. High-resolution sensors often face challenges with noise at higher ISRs, so Panasonic will need to ensure that their image processing and noise reduction technologies are up to par. The same goes for autofocus. It's one thing to promise better performance, but it will be crucial to see how it performs in dynamic, fast-moving situations like sports or wildlife photography, where quick, accurate focus can make all the difference. Then there's the question of how the S5R will fit into Panasonic's broader camera ecosystem. The Lumix line has evolved significantly over the past few years, and the introduction of phase detect autofocus in the S5 II was a major milestone. If the S5R builds on that with further refinements, it could solidify Panasonic's position as a top contender in both the still photography and video markets. But with competition from heavyweights like Sony, Canon and Nikon, Panasonic will need to offer something truly unique, whether it's superior image quality, robust video features, or perhaps a combination of both to make the S5R stand out. Finally, it's worth considering who this camera is for. If you're a landscape photographer, the high-resolution sensor could be a game-changer, offering the ability to capture intricate details and make large, high-quality prints. On the other hand, if you're a videographer or a hybrid shooter, the S5R might offer just the right mix of video capabilities and still photo performance. Panasonic has a history of catering to a wide range of creators, and the S5R could continue that tradition by appealing to professionals and enthusiasts alike. In the end, while we don't have all the details yet, the Panasonic Lumix S5R is shaping up to be an intriguing addition to the camera market. Keep an eye out for more news, as the official announcement will surely provide more clarity on what this camera has to offer. Whether you're in the market for a new camera or just curious about the latest tech, the S5R is definitely one to watch. As more information becomes available, we'll get a clearer picture of its strengths, weaknesses, and overall potential in both photography and videography. Until then, it's all about anticipation and speculation. But one thing's for sure, Panasonic seems to be ready to make waves once again. Do let us know what you think about the upcoming Panasonic S5R. As for everything else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you want more content like this on your feed.